That you just heard is coil whine. It involves literal components on the board, namely inductors, which oversee current regulation. At certain power delivery levels, however, inductors will vibrate, creating high-pitched squeals. Graphics cards are notorious for varying degrees of coil whine because they experience frequent current changes depending on graphical demand. And in the case of the Kaby Lake Dell XPS 13, which I reviewed right here, coil whine is the plague. It litters the entire motherboard, specifically right here, which is right where the CPU is located. The whine has varying degrees of pitch and loudness and is persistent for roughly the first 2 minutes of startup until CPU usage levels off. The only reason I haven't returned mine is because it's inaudible when I start shows on Netflix. That would be the final straw for me. But open up Google Chrome, especially with hardware acceleration enabled, Microsoft Word, heck, even a photo, and you'll hear at least a few seconds of cringing metal hiss. Something else I've been able to deduce regarding the issue is that it's relatively isolated to the 13 series. The Dell XPS 15s I've tinkered with have had no such whine. And comparable Kaby Lake i7 Ultrabooks like the Lenovo Yoga 910, which I reviewed right here, exact same specifications by the way, don't have any coil whine whatsoever. Dell has responded in a few rare instances to this issue via forums, but of course nothing is likely to change for this generation of laptop. The previous Skylake model is also plagued with this issue by the way. Needless to say, fixing coil whine in general, let alone on a laptop this size, is next to impossible. Isolating the exact inductor responsible would be troublesome, and even then, only a few materials can be coated over it to suppress the vibration. Not prevent it from happening, but just to suppress it, make the sound a little less prominent. And I have a feeling the coil whine is coming from more than one place, as I can typically hear more than one high-pitched tone coming from the laptop at any given time. On-screen graphics definitely instigate the sound, which is why Cinebench R15's CPU test prompted only a fan spool, no coil whine, whereas the OpenGL test resulted in some of the worst coil whine I have ever heard. I have a feeling the 1080p model of the XPS 13 also suffers here despite driving a fraction of the pixels. So why did I create this short little video? Obviously to reveal the coil whine issue. Think of it as PR. The more you know about a laptop, the more comfortable you'll be about the purchase in general. I spent $1,500 on this thing. I didn't even think to Google something like coil whine issue for the XPS 13 because I didn't expect it in a laptop of this caliber, to be quite frank. Do I still recommend it though? Yeah, I mean, it's still a good laptop despite the noise. Sounds a bit like a hard disk drive, so it'll be nothing new for those of you who are already sporting one. But I am aware that this information will change many minds. Look, I'm not biased about this sort of thing. I even paid for this laptop out of my own pocket. The coil whine is there, it is frustrating, it's annoying at times, but that's just it, at times. It's intermittent, not persistent, and that's why I can deal with it. It's not loud enough to where my classmates are always going, what is that? What is that? You know, what's that loud noise? So it's not like that. Even in a quiet lecture hall, you'll still be okay with it, unless you're doing something really crazy, like rendering a video in the middle of class or something like that. And there have actually been cases where people have purchased this exact laptop and not had coil whine issues at all. So you might get lucky, but chances are you'll end up with one that does have coil whine, and that's why I made this video, just to let you know that it is there. It's not too annoying most of the time. Every now and then you'll hear it squeal. You're like, where the heck is that coming from? It's coming from the laptop, unfortunately, and I hope that Dell kind of tries their best to eradicate that in the next generation of the XPS 13. Other than that, it's a beautiful laptop. I got nothing else to complain about really, except for the chin cam, but that's something I knew about going into it. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down if you feel the complete opposite, or if you hate everything about life. Be sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned for a review of the AMD RX 470 that I picked up from Best Buy for $160. This is Salazar Studio. Thanks for learning with us.